it was announced that after Breath of the Wild, which isn't even out, they're already planning the next game beyond that. And one of the things that they are planning is to have a Zelda multiplayer. Well, that could be interesting and all well and good. But unfortunately, a lot of people are against that. They don't like when things change. Metroid Prime did try to have multiplayer, and I do feel had been online multiplayer, it might have been more successful because it was only local, if memory serves. And other than Super Smash Bros. Or Mario Kart, they don't venture too much into the multiplayer online. So, but if Nintendo is going to do it, they'll do it, and they're pretty good when they reinvent things. But let's discuss the idea of a Zelda multiplayer. But let's go hardcore. Instead, let's talk about a Zelda MMORPG. Hyrule has many different races. You could play as a Sheikah, you could play as a Hylian, you could play as a Deku Scrub or even a Kokori. You could play as a Goron, you could play as a Zora. They could even, maybe a future expansion, add Ritos. That would be very interesting. And let's see, what other races are there? I mean, you could even maybe play as Moblins. You could play as, Dark Zoras, like the old school Zoras that were bad. You could, there's so many options that you could play as if they wanted to do a Horde and Alliance type thing like Warcraft does. Only you would have to be part of the Dark Forces or Hylian forces, depending on, how they divvy it up. They could even say, those who believe in the goddess versus those who worship Demise. That could be the way that they do it. They could even just let you play as your own character. Who's to say you couldn't be a good Moblin? Because it's not like it's totally unheard of. The other end of it is, a Hylian, let's look at Hyrule Warriors for a moment. Link's weapons were distributed amongst all the warriors, whether it was their main weapon and then there was sub-weapons. They all got divvied up. So a Hylian wouldn't be using Goron weapons. There might be ways to unlock it, but you would never be able to use it on the same level as the Goron. And you could do that with any character. So, the Zoros could use a bow, but they would never be able to unlock the crossbow. The magic crossbow would have to be limited to the Hylians. But that's not to say you couldn't get decent enough things and develop those skills within the game. It's just that having character classes and limitations is a thing in MMORPGs. And I do feel that Hyrule has shown to have a diverse enough world. We got mountains, we got fields, we got lakes and rivers, we got forests. We even have had oceans, if you want to include, if they do the future expansion, we would have to have a Great Sea. It doesn't have to hold true to the canon. It just has to be playable and enjoyable and have players want to keep playing it. That's all that would matter. I don't know why people are so held up on not wanting to have MMORPG or even multiplayer for Zelda, because if you think about it, Link has many times been fighting and there was people off wherever doing whatever. So if, say, Link and Sheik, if someone were playing as Sheik off somewhere doing whatever, and you as player 1 and they as player 2, or they're player 1 and you're player 2, you come along and you find something is already opened and there was no way for you to do it, that's not carrying a person to help them grind. I mean, that's just teamwork. And, 2 players could maybe solve puzzles, especially if there were puzzles in the dungeons for 2-player, if there were 2-player dungeons. Not that you couldn't do it by yourself, it's just a lot easier with 2 players. All in all, I don't think it'd be too bad. But I will say that Castlevania 3 did introduce 2 players in the form of, you had whatever Belmont you were playing as, and then there was either a guy, I think he could fly, and then there was another one that could climb walls, and I used him a lot more. So Castlevania is typically a 1-player game, so being able to switch between those 2 characters was something unique onto itself for that, unless there's another Castlevania, because I haven't played Castlevania in forever. But consider that. I remember that being a very enjoyable game. So Having different player characters to play as is an option as well, but again, Zelda Four Swords, I remember, was very enjoyable. I remember, other Four Sword variant, and even Triforce Heroes, I'm finding, is a very, very fun game. Albeit that one does require 3 people, because it is hard with just one, and I'm very stuck. So tell me what you think. Do you think Zelda should remain just one player, or do you think a cooperative play should come into it, or even should they branch off into MMO? Please feel free to share with me in the comments below. You can even comment on the link for Facebook, or you can get a hold of me on Twitter. Do follow me on both. Or subscribe to this channel and check out all my other videos. And thank you for watching.